Hey man, let's talk for a minute. You ever feel like you're doing all the work in a relationship while she's just coasting? You're bending over backward, giving your time, your energy, your attention, and it feels like she's just taking it for granted. You know, I was reading this book, The Way of the Superior Man by David Dada, and he talks about how men often fall into this trap. They give everything they've got, trying to please or impress the woman they're with, but in doing so, they make the relationship feel too easy, like it doesn't have to be earned. The thing is, when you hand everything over without making her work for it, you're not being generous. You're setting yourself up to be undervalued. Today, we're going to break down why that happens, how to shift the dynamic, and, most importantly, how to make her value you. Trust me, stick with me until the end, because what I'm about to share could completely flip the way you see relationships. Point 1. Why effort creates value. Let's start with a simple truth. People value what they earn. Think about the last thing you worked hard for. Maybe it was a promotion, hitting a fitness goal, or even learning a new skill. That feeling of accomplishment, that's what makes it valuable. Now, relationships work the same way. If she doesn't have to put in any effort to earn your time, your energy, or your commitment, she's not going to value it as much. It's like this. When something feels too easy to get, it's just as easy to let go of. So, if you're feeling like she's taking you for granted, ask yourself this: did I make her work for this relationship, or did I just hand it over? Now, even if this has happened to you before, don't worry. We're going to talk about how to shift this dynamic. Stay with me, because I'm going to show you how to flip the script on this whole thing. Point 2. Why men fall into the overgiving trap. So, why do so many guys fall into this trap of overgiving? It's simple. We've been conditioned to believe that the key to a successful relationship is to be that guy, the one who's always available, constantly planning and doing whatever it takes to show her how much you care. But when you're giving too much too quickly, it sends the wrong message. You might think you're being thoughtful, but really, you're coming off as desperate. And here's the thing, desperation, it's a huge turnoff. Women want a man who has boundaries, who values himself enough to make her work for it too. Think about it. If you're always giving, what does she actually have to do? The real attraction comes when there's a bit of a chase, when she feels like she has to earn your time and energy. Now, if you found yourself stuck in this overgiving cycle, I get it. It's tough to break out of. So, how do you stop? Don't worry, I'll walk you through how to fix this and shift the power in your favor. Point 3. Set standards for yourself. Alright, now let's talk about the key to breaking this overgiving cycle. Setting standards for yourself. This is where it all begins. Think about this for a second. What do you actually want in a partner? Is she bringing something valuable to the table? Or are you the only one showing up? Here's the shift you need to make. You're not some guy chasing her. You're the one with value. And if she can't see that, maybe it's time to let her go. But hold up. Setting standards doesn't mean being cold or playing hard to get. It's about respecting yourself enough to know you don't need to beg for someone's attention or affection. You deserve someone who recognizes what you bring to the table and puts in the effort too. Now, I know this might sound like a big mindset change. So, the next question is, how do you protect your time and energy without shutting people out or looking like you don't care? Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through how to do exactly that. Point 4. Don't be too available. Here's where a lot of guys mess up. They make themselves way too available. Now listen, if you're always dropping everything for her, answering every text in seconds, rearranging your whole schedule just to fit hers, what you're really saying is, my time isn't valuable, but your time is your most valuable resource. You can't just hand it out like it's nothing. Instead, spend it on the things that truly matter, your goals, your passions, your growth. When you're living your best life, doing what you love, you naturally become more attractive. Think about someone like Leonardo da Vinci. He was a man who had a purpose, a vision, and he didn't let distractions pull him away from it. Women in his life couldn't simply come in and demand his attention at every moment. He was focused on his craft, on shaping the world with his genius, and that made him infinitely more intriguing and desirable. He wasn't readily available, and because of that, people wanted to be a part of his world. When she sees that you're a man with purpose and direction, she'll start to work harder to be part of your world. When she sees that you're not just sitting around waiting for her, she'll put in the effort because she'll recognize your value. Now, as she starts to make more of an effort, it's important that you recognize it without losing your balance. So let's dive into how to appreciate her effort, but keep things grounded. Point 5. Reward her effort. When she does put in effort, don't ignore it. Acknowledge it, appreciate it, and let her know you value what she's bringing to the table. If she takes the time to plan a date, thank her for that initiative. If she's supporting your goals or helping you grow, make sure she knows it means something to you. Rewarding effort like this creates a healthy dynamic where both people feel valued and motivated to keep giving their best. It keeps the relationship balanced and keeps her invested. Now, this is where things can get tricky. You don't want to overdo it and fall back into the trap of overgiving. The key here is maintaining that mutual respect. It's not about constantly giving more to win her affection, it's about balance. This idea of rewarding effort ties right back to a concept I call catch and release. Think of it like fishing, where you catch the fish, but you don't just reel it in and let it sit there. Instead, you let it swim a little bit, make sure it's worth the catch before deciding if it should stay. It's about ensuring she invests just as much as you do. Let me explain how this works. Point 6. Catch and release, the secret to value. Think of dating as catch and release. Imagine yourself as the fisherman. You're not out there desperately trying to reel in any fish. Instead, you focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Now, when women are drawn to you, don't chase or cling to them. Instead, let them show you their interest. Think about someone like Alexander the Great. He was a man of power, purpose, and vision. Women didn't flock to him because he was desperate for their attention. He had his own empire to build. His life had a purpose, and people wanted to be a part of that. When women saw his value, they made an effort to get close to him. If a woman is serious about wanting something more with you, she'll make the effort to prove it. And if she doesn't, that's okay. Let her go. The right woman will see your value and work to be part of your life. And here's the beauty of it. When she's invested, when she's worked for it, she'll value the relationship so much more. She'll see the effort she's put in, and that will make her more committed. So, here's what it all comes down to. Don't hand over your value for free. Make her work for it, not out of ego, but out of self-respect. When both of you are putting in effort, the relationship becomes stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling. If you've ever felt undervalued, take a step back and ask yourself, am I setting the right standards? Am I protecting my time? Start there and watch how things change. And hey, if this message resonated with you, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Remember, you're the prize. Respect yourself, and the right person will too.